if Tom Thibodeau doesn't win 1 or 2 games against the Celtics and don't give the Celtics a challenge if they get through this Pistons series, he should be absolutely gone. I don't know why any Knicks fans think that this is okay. Tom Thibodeau not calling a timeout. I don't care if he had 1 timeout. You had 2 minutes left, and you want to get your 2 best players in the game, and you didn't get a chance to bring them in until, 30 seconds left of the game? That's not good enough. And this New York Knicks team had a chance to win that game. It wasn't the Cade Cunningham show. It was everybody else that was dominating the Knicks. And to me,
I didn't see. Did they have did they have no timeouts?
They had a timeout. They had 1 timeout. They could have called the timeout, and that's the problem. They were trying. And if you know that your best players aren't in, then foul. You need to get Jalen Brunson in the game.
Yeah, get somebody that is not in foul trouble and just.
But
grab it on.
Obviously, they have to go to the free throw line. And here's the thing. The Knicks couldn't hit a free throw in that game if their life depended on it. Either could they. The Detroit Pistons, Thompson missed like 4 or 5 free throws until he hit one. It was embarrassing. That game was an embarrassment, and the New York Knicks had a chance to end them in Madison Square Garden. It's just, I don't understand Tom Thibodeau. I don't understand his reactions after the game, telling me that there shouldn't be any rotation changes. What are you kidding me? First of all, and I'll say this again, why isn't Mitchell Robinson on the court with their best players? OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, and Jalen Brunson. Why don't you rotate Mikal Bridges here and there? Why don't you rotate Josh Hart off the bench? Try to give them more depth off the bench. And McBride has been absolutely horrible in this series. He couldn't hit a shot if his life depended on it. The watching the Knicks does give you agita. This is a Detroit Piston team that's very, very young. And again, they're still trying to figure things out with a coach that's been there for how long? 1 year? I mean, they're still trying to find their own identity. Cade Cunningham is a great player. He's sensational. But if the Knicks know that he is dominating them when he goes to the hole, why isn't OG Anunoby on the court defending against him? You know he's your best outside perimeter defender. Why isn't he defending Cade Cunningham the whole game? It doesn't make sense. If you guys remember Miami, when they played Derrick Rose in the Chicago Bulls, Derrick Rose was the MVP. You guys remember that? LeBron James was one of the best defensive players in the league. And Derrick Rose was killing the Miami Heat the first 2 games. He was dominating going to the hole. You know what LeBron James decided to do? He decided to take everything into his own hands, and he defended Derrick Rose for the rest of the series. Do you know how many games Chicago won after that? 0. Zilch. And that's what your best defensive players, that's what your best players are supposed to do. Step up to the plate and knock out the best player on the other team. I don't understand Tom Thibodeau's theories and thoughts after the game. You see that he's a deer in the headlights. I don't even think he knows how important this series is for the New York Knicks. And it's not even drawn up that they're going to play the Celtics in the next round because Detroit has absolutely daggered them in certain parts of these games. They have kept the games close. They've been putting pressure on their best players. And Jalen Brunson, he was averaging over 30 points a game going into that game and then lays up a lousy goose egg. I don't want to hear that he's hurt. He don't play defense. We expect Jalen Brunson to put up a 30 spot against a team that don't play defense on the perimeter either. Cade Cunningham is not one of the best defenders at his position in the league. He's a decent one. He's not a great one. And how is Schroeder knifing through the defenses the way he has in this series? Schroeder, he is not a great offensive player. He's a decent one. I remember when he was drafted. He's good, but he's not great. It doesn't make any sense. And there's no excuse to the team defense that we've seen all season long. I think Tom Thibodeau has lost his team. And this is a defense. This is a team that was one of the best defensive teams in the league back-to-back years since Tom Thibodeau has taken over. What happened to this defense? What is going on with this team? It doesn't make any sense. I don't care if they were the 3rd seed. They should have never finished as the number 3 seed because now you're going, even if you get out of this series, you got to match up against the green and white. And I don't want to see the Knicks play the green and white the way the Celtics played against Orlando, who, by the way, is a much better team than the Detroit Pistons. Why is McBride playing? If he's not hitting a shot, how many point guards are right now on the bench playing for the Knicks? We haven't seen any of them because you know why? Thibs don't like to play younger players. Right. Kolek should be playing. This is a guy that can dribble the ball, take the ball up, play, defend multiple positions, and do a lot of things right. Why isn't he playing? You know why? Because Thibodeau doesn't like to play young players. It's disgraceful. When your team is not playing great all-around basketball, you got to take chances. That's what you do. If you're a good coach, you take chances. Win or lose, you could say, hey, I tried everything. I did what I can. I set up, rotations that I thought would work against a young, more talented, athletic team. And it's true. Detroit is much more athletic than the New York Knicks. The Knicks are playing like an old team. Even though they're not old, they're playing old basketball. That doesn't work against the Celtics. That will not work against the Cavaliers, as we've seen what Kenny Atkinson has drawn up in that series. It's despicable. And Thibodeau has no excuses.